Over 5 million candidates applied for this year's Railway Recruitment Board Group D exams. Looking at the sheer physical volume of students pushing for a single open door, you see the reality. It is a statistical gauntlet. In 2019, Railways hired for over 103,000 open positions. Today, that number dropped 68% to just 32,438 vacancies. This sharp decline compresses a high-volume recruitment drive into a narrow bottleneck, effectively erasing the margin for error. This math translates directly to the platforms. Hundreds of thousands mobilize across the country, competing for logistical bandwidth just to reach their test centers. With available jobs at less than a third of the 2019 level, the previous cutoffs no longer serve as a reliable benchmark. This high competition density has created a completely different risk profile for every score. Millions are currently in a holding pattern. They are standing outside offices and refreshing web pages, waiting for official results to dictate their next move. But waiting for official confirmation costs you the one asset you cannot recover: time. This chart breaks down a verified pool of 5.18 lakh candidates, showing how it narrows to 32,000 final vacancies. Your immediate target is the middle tier, the roughly 97,000 candidates called for the physical standard test. You have to trade the comfort of waiting for certainty and use this data to take action today. How you allocate your time depends entirely on where you sit in this funnel. This distribution curve reveals the baseline raw scores. With over 95,000 candidates scoring above 65, the data sets a hard baseline at 70 for the unreserved category and 65 for OBC. That unreserved cutoff is pushed even higher by a crossover effect. Meritorious students from reserved categories who meet the age limits will claim unreserved seats based on their high scores. The bottleneck is specifically tight for OBC candidates. There are over 32,000 applicants scoring 70 or higher, but they are competing for only 8,100 category seats. If your raw score puts you in this safe zone, your academic work is finished. Your only priority now is committing fully to intense preparation for the physical standard test. However, this prep carries its own trade-offs. Pushing too hard, too fast can lead to muscle strain and injuries weeks before the actual test. Historically, about 10% of candidates fail the physical stage. A high written score offers no protection against failing the sprint or the weight-carrying requirements. Achieving a 70-plus raw score is only the first half of the job. It won't result in a seat if physical conditioning or an unforced injury costs you the final test. Then there is the borderline group. If you are scoring in the low 60s, your fate is dependent on an opaque evaluation formula used by the Railway Board. This matrix shows how scores are adjusted based on the statistical difficulty of specific shifts. Let's look at the two extremes from the 2025 data. The first shift on December 19th had the lowest average score at 55.9.
Candidates in this shift could see a bump of up to 10 marks, moving them into the safe zone. In contrast, the second shift on December 22nd had a high average of 65.81. Because the paper was statistically easier, candidates here will likely see no bonus marks added to their score. Relying on this statistical adjustment creates significant anxiety, as the results are entirely out of your control. If you are in this borderline range, you need a dual prep strategy. Divide your time between light physical maintenance and academic study for the next recruitment cycle. You must hedge your bets. Relying solely on a favorable adjustment from the algorithm is a high-risk strategy for your career timeline. Geography is the final variable that can warp the cutoff data in unpredictable ways. Take Bangalore, a distant southern zone often chosen by North Indian candidates looking for lower competition levels. In 2019, remote zones like this saw an anomaly where initial cutoffs eventually dropped into the 40s. This happened because of massive absentee rates. Candidates either refused to travel the distance or accepted other jobs closer to home. If you were banking on a remote zone, you are trading immediate point competition for high logistical costs and extreme travel distances just to attempt the physical test. Because of these no-shows, railways frequently have to release additional call-up lists to fill the remaining seats in these zones. Choosing a distant zone means accepting logistical hardship in exchange for a potentially lower score requirement.
This flowchart turns the 5.18 lakh data points into a personal directive. It identifies the path that matches your specific situation. The first branch is for high scores, 70 and above for unreserved, or 65 and above for OBC. Your path leads directly to full-time physical preparation. The second branch is for the borderline group, those in the low 60s from hard shifts. Your path is the dual prep strategy. Split your time between physical readiness and study. The final branch is for those below 55, or those in the low 60s from easy shifts. The data indicates a hard pivot to the 2026 cycle is the most practical move. This breakdown provides a structured way to look at your score against the current data. It identifies which path matches your specific situation, so you can move forward with a clear plan. If you fall into the third group, specifically unreserved candidates below 60 and ST candidates below 50, you need to shift your focus immediately. Waiting for a miracle in the official results will only burn through your most valuable resource, your preparation time for the next exam. There is an immediate opportunity ahead. The railways have already confirmed a new recruitment cycle with approximately 22,000 new Group D vacancies. By pivoting to academic preparation today, you gain a head start while others are still waiting for months to see their results. The Railway Board controls the final formula and the official lists, but you have absolute control over how you spend your time starting today.